Welcome to On the Move.
And welcome back. Please be seated. City may call us next witness.
City will call Dustin O'Brien.
Please bring him forward.
This will be 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
So I apologize. She's just stepping out for the leader. I think we can call Officer Rawlins if we want to get that process going. If there's no objections, otherwise I'm happy to wait. I don't know how long it's
Up to you if you want to call Officer Rawlins. Officer Rawlins, come forward. Just and you solemnly swear or affirm your testimony is caused by the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Please be seated. If you please state your full name, spell your last name for the record, making sure to speak up for the truth.
Troy Lynn Rawlins, R-A-W-L-I-N-S.
What's your badge number, officer?
I don't have a badge number. If you can find one on there, let me know.
What's your name?
My name is Officer Rawlins.
Officer Rawlins. Can you spell that for me, please, sir?
Yeah, I will in a minute.
What's your name?
I was just letting him know not to walk in. He's back.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Another witness first.
And Mr. Randall.
I believe you've already stated your name. So are you currently employed?
Yes, sir, with the City of Vancouver Police Department.
How long have you been employed with Vancouver Police Department?
13 years, sir.
And had you had any other law enforcement experience prior to that?
No, sir.
Any other experience in the armed forces, military, anything like that?
Yes, sir. I've been in the combination Army and Air Force for 27 years.
And what training as an officer did you receive? Just kind of beginning with your initial academy training.
The Washington State Basic Law Enforcement Academy is approximately 5 months long in Burien, Washington. After completion of that, I completed a department field training program that's about 6 months long in addition to that.
And do you recall whether or not you were working on June 29th, 2013?
Yes, sir, I was.
And what shift were you working?
Just starting a graveyard shift, sir.
Okay. Sorry, just crossing some stuff out. Do you recall whether or not on the date in question you responded to the area of Big Al's Bowling Alley?
Yes, sir. I was, like I said, I was just beginning a graveyard shift, and most of my shift was still basically in briefing, and a call came out of a suspicious individual with a weapon in the area.
Okay. Were you wearing a uniform that day?
Yes, sir. The same uniform that I have on.
And, excuse me, were you driving a marked patrol vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall approximately what time you responded to that location?
Slightly after 8 p.m. I mean, the exact minute I'd have to refer to my report, but it's slightly after 8 o'clock, 'cause that's when graveyard shift begins.
Okay. Were you the only officer that responded?
No, there were several officers. I would say probably, just to estimate, I would say probably 6 to 8 officers.
And I'm just going to ask more like a yes or no question at this time without getting into the details. Did you have a lot of information before arriving as to what was going on?
Not a lot. The information that I had heard is that that dispatch put out that they had I don't know the exact number, but several calls of an individual in the.
So I don't stop you there. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. So when you arrive, what's your primary goal when you're pulling into Big Al's?
True. Well, initially it was just to try to find the subject, because we didn't have an exact area. There was, like I said, there were several officers that were responding to the area on 164th, and we were basically kind of doing an area check, because we had heard there was information from Burgerville, which is on McGilvery and 164th, to basically in that general area. So we were kind of driving around trying to find the subject.
Did you find that individual?
Yes, sir.
Where did you initially locate him at?
It would be in the north portion of the parking lot of the Big Al's bowling alley.
Okay. What was he doing when you first noticed him?
Walking, it'd be kind of north towards the sidewalk of the parking lot.
Were you able to notice whether or not he had a gun with him?
Yes, sir. He had a rifle that was slung over his shoulder.
Do you recall whether or not there was a magazine in the gun?
After closer contact, yes, I could see that the weapon was loaded, or appeared to be loaded.
So when you got closer, did you just testify that you saw that there was a magazine?
Yes, sir.
What does that indicate to you?
That the weapon would have been loaded.
What's going through your head when you see that?
Oh, it's obviously, I mean, it's not a normal activity for somebody to be walking around with a rifle, AR-15 style rifle. And especially in that part of Vancouver, that's a very heavily kind of populated area. The Big Al's, the area that we located him at, is pretty busy. It's a very congested area. And then also on 164th too, that's probably one of the, if not the busiest streets in the city. So.
And I'll stop you there.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, yeah.
What crime have I committed?
No crimes have been committed at this point that we know of.
Are
Maybe
you-
your gun stolen? I don't know.
Are you aware that I have to be committing a crime, or you have to have reasonable suspicion that I committed a
Stop talking.
crime?
When you arrived, were there cars in the parking lot?
Yes, sir.
Were there, without just were there people in the parking lot? Yes or no?
Yes.
Did you come in contact yourself with the individual that had the gun in his possession?
Yes, sir.
And is that individual in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
And could you do your best to point him out and describe an article of clothing?
The individual in the black leather jacket with the glasses and the tie, white shirt.
And I would just ask the court to let it reflect that he has indicated the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Excuse me. Did he point the gun at you at all?
No, sir.
Did he verbally threaten you?
No, sir.
with the gun? Are you? Do you know what model of gun it was?
AR-15 is basically that style of weapon. It's pretty much just referred to as an AR-15 rifle. There's several different brands, and they all have basically a similar look.
Okay. Was he doing anything while he was carrying the gun?
Holding up a cell phone, saying that. And when I made contact with him verbally, he said that he was recording the incident.
Looks like it's already been very stipulated to it. I'm gonna ask you this: is it okay if the witness steps down? I was gonna ask him to handle the.
Yeah, he may. Any objection to the?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, you may step down.
Okay.
You're just better situated with your training. Do you mind grabbing what's in the box that we've already stipulated? And then it helps me.
Just go ahead and pull up that box, just so I can keep in a safe direction.
And what is that you're holding?
That's an AR-15 rifle.
And is that the same gun that Mr. Worley had?
Yes, sir, it is.
And is there a magazine in that box?
Yes, sir, it
Just want to grab that. And I'm not going to ask you to insert it in there, but can you show where that would be inserted?
It would be this magazine, which is designed to hold 30 rounds, would be inside this magazine as well. Basically, give the appearance of that's in the weapon.
And do you recall how he had the gun when he was walking around with it? Meaning, what was the position?
The sling was over his shoulder, and the weapon was hanging on the side.
And I guess at this point I would defer to the court about publishing. I know obviously this is a gun, so I don't know if the court would be comfortable for the jury to get a better look. Otherwise, are you able to see this? I don't know if anybody can see this.
Object just standing at the center of the jury box and holding it up.
I don't. I would prefer if he did it that he sling it over his shoulder and have it held as he observes.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. And if you just would walk and then come back at this.
And the way that the weapon, when he had it slung on his body, it may have been across over his head, basically across his torso, but the weapon was slung over his upper body.
And was it pointed in that direction at the ground?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any other questions regarding that, so I don't need, for the sake of now, if you don't mind just putting it back in the box.
Sure.
And then you can have, actually I was gonna see with the magazine, is that okay? I would ask that that be published, so we'd have the rest of the safety concern.
Any objection to the magazine being offered in evidence and published?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you may publish it. And what's the number on that, Mr. Randall? Yeah.
And you can have a seat.
Number 3 is admitted.
Are you familiar with that? You familiar with that area?
Yes, sir.
What kind of business? Are there businesses in there?
Yes, sir. In that parking lot, there's, like I said, the bowling alley, Big Al's bowling alley, not too far from, basically just kind of southwest of that. It's all kind of in a connecting parking lot that kind of interweaves around. There's a Walgreens. There's like a yoga studio. There was a fireworks stand that was set up at the time. There's a donut shop, but a number of, I think, a gym, small gym, a number of businesses, a couple restaurants.
And I believe I asked you those questions. Was this in the city of Vancouver, Washington?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any further questions at this time.
Am I being detained right now, officer?
Let me see your ID.
No, thank you.
What's that?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, why are you saying no, thank you?
I know it's my Fourth Amendment right. I don't have to show you my identification. Okay, so you're not going to answer me. Okay. What's your badge number?
1382.
And your name?
Devlin.
Devin. Yours?
1375.
Name?
Trader.
You do know that you're required by law to actually give me your name when I
Just did.
Really comfortable too. That's one thing I really like about this bag is the comfort level of it. But anyway, so let me move on here and we'll start showing the back here, show the features. First thing first here, we got the front of it.